Right, welcome everyone to our latest EBS webinar. My name is Simon G, and I am the BDM at EBS, or one of them. For those that don't know EBS, we've been established for over 40 years and are focused on being your experienced technology partner. So today's webinar is all about unleashing the power of Microsoft 365. Joined today by our Microsoft partner, Jacob Roberts from Inty. I guess before handing over to Jacob, just to let you know, we're recording the session. We will also send this session across to you as well. And it'll also be on our YouTube channel. If you do have any questions during the session, please, if you want to either raise your Teams hand, your virtual hand, or pop it in the chat, we'll either take those on during the session or wait and do a questions and answers session at the end of this webinar. So yeah, we'll deal with that as we go along. One thing that I will ask, you should all be muted. If you can also turn your videos off as well, it just helps it when we're putting it on our YouTube channel. So I think at that stage, without further ado, if I can hand over to Jacob, I'll turn myself off video as well and put myself on mute for the moment.
Great, thank you very much, Simon. Yes, hello everyone. My name is Jacob Roberts. I'm working with EBS as one of the Microsoft kind of partners. We work for a company called Inty, who are we're a distributor who mainly deal with the Microsoft side of things, as well as a number of other services. But obviously, yeah, today just kind of running through making the most out of 365, maybe some of the updates that have happened recently, and obviously the kind of main services that you may be using and utilizing with 365 as well. If I share my screen, lovely. Well, obviously, yeah, Microsoft 365 for business with EBS and Inty as well. So obviously, Microsoft 365 overall is a very comprehensive suite of productivity and collaboration tools that's offered by Microsoft. There's obviously different levels of services that you can get. It brings together various applications from Microsoft and services that it can enhance productivity, streamline workflows, and enable seamless collaboration within your organization. Some of the maybe more popular or kind of regularly used licenses that we see throughout kind of space are Business Basic, Business Standard, and Business Premium, and all of these are a good introduction or a full stack into the available services from Microsoft. So Business Basic being a bit of a lightweight introductory license for SMBs, a good introductory to the 365 journey, adding the collaboration tools. So obviously you're getting Teams, Exchange, OneDrive, and SharePoint. This does include the web versions of or access to web versions of kind of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint as well, but it does not include the desktop versions. So next kind of license up from there would be Business Standard, and this would include all that Basic does, so Teams, Exchange, OneDrive, and SharePoint again, as well as the desktop versions of kind of Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. It does also have certain security features like threat protection or device management, but really Microsoft's full kind of capabilities and overall offering is definitely within their Business Premium license, which is again everything within Business Standard, but you're also getting additional security features with Defender for Business and Defender for Office 365 Plan 1. So I'll go into those kind of availabilities and what you can get with them in a little bit, but really you're getting a bit more kind of cybersecurity. You're getting those productivity capabilities. You've got collaboration and the ability to talk to people very easily through Teams. You've got your mail, which with Exchange and Outlook, everyone uses on a day-to-day basis. And also you're getting features such as Azure information protection, Intune device management, and conditional access policies, as well as further advanced threat protection, Exchange archiving, and DLP data loss prevention. So I'll go again into those in a little bit. But overall, Microsoft's kind of stack is there for Office applications, cloud storage, communication, calendars, everything we need on a day-to-day basis. So different options being, a lightweight version up to a full available stack with comprehensive security features. Part of those features around possibly Business Premium and the layered security available within Office and Teams. Now that remote working is definitely here to stay, I'm sure lots of presentations before have kind of mentioned the change what we have now, everyone working from home or working on different devices. Microsoft definitely have given a better way for businesses to kind of manage those. So with Microsoft Teams, you're able to collaborate in real time with video conferencing, obviously group chats, easy places to share files, one place for kind of share files in the history of conversations, and also a really good integrated app that can be on a computer or a device with Teams. Microsoft Business Premium, the kind of higher license of the initial 365 stack, has advanced security technology that is normally available for maybe many large enterprise customers, but it's a very powerful and simple tool to manage. So enabling secure access is definitely the first step towards kind of remote work or being able to work from kind of anywhere really. And Microsoft 365 Business Premium does include Azure AD, Azure Active Directory, which then has included MFA, so multi-factor authentication, and conditional access to protect against lost or stolen passwords. So this can obviously ensure that the right people are going into certain places, ensuring the right people are going into different work apps, and ensuring those areas are secure as well. Another benefit we've seen is the ability to use Windows Virtual Desktop, so I can defend against the kind of cyber threats. So employees can access remote apps from any device and anywhere, where a central management place is a central place to manage those services and maintain. So that can obviously be with EBS to be able to ensure that there's a single kind of point to manage everyone's devices as well. Next thing as well is definitely the ability to protect against cyber threats and secure data. So sensitive data, especially now, can come in lots of different forms. So customer details, your own kind of employee records, contracts, intellectual property, and these things definitely can be protected and secured with the Microsoft 365 stack and maybe the Business Premium ATP that comes with that. So with advanced threat protection that's included in Business Premium, you can protect yourself against cyber threats like phishing and ransomware. So make sure employees or kind of people are secure against links or attachments that could be malicious, whether they're shared by email or over Teams or even through kind of OneDrive. It's a good antivirus tool that a lot of organizations need to be kind of aware of or kind of have in place now. You can also protect against data leaks with data loss prevention, DLP, and can control access to emails and files using the Azure information protection and encryption. Also, if you've got employees, kind of working remotely, you may want to gain visibility to the cloud apps that are being used to store and share information, and you can do so with the Cloud App Discovery, which gives you visibility to the risks outside, or risks that outside resources, maybe outside apps or devices, can pose to an organization. With regards to device security, managing work data on a personal device or even work device can be quite crucial for control and security. Microsoft Intune app protects against, or can allow policies to protect against these types of things. So it can enforce specific rules, which I'll touch on in a little bit later, to ensure that maybe work files are saved only on work specific devices. Maybe they can't be shared to certain people, or they can have rules or labels against them, so that if you are sharing certain sensitive information, they may be only read-only, or certain people can't edit them, or maybe accidentally erase or lose data as well. But again, summary: Business Premium and the 365 stack that Microsoft do offer allow a comprehensive remote work toolkit that combines those collaboration solutions to assist with kind of securing data and device protection. If, for example, you had Business Premium on its own, there's obviously been some changes to the prices lately, but for around about £18 a month, it's twice as much, or it's kind of half the cost really of what you're getting if you go to individual places and get what is available in that license suite. So you're getting security and identity and device management, single sign-on, MFA services, collaboration, and productivity apps, and really all of these together. I mean, we provide services as well outside of the Microsoft stack, and while they're good, the costs can definitely run up. So you may be spending twice as much rather than what you get with a standalone Business Premium license. You may have seen some changes. Obviously, there's been quite a lot of updates with Microsoft kind of recently, and one of the main things which we definitely have to touch on is the new Microsoft 365 New Commerce Experience, or the NCE licensing model. What this is each license that is available now has 3 different options in terms of kind of commitment terms. So you can either be on a rolling monthly subscription, or you can be on an annual subscription with Microsoft licensing. With the monthly, you are paying a slight higher kind of cost. It's about 20% more than the annual commitments, but you're paying for that kind of flexibility. So if you do have a natural upping and downing of kind of user count, or the need to remove licenses or kind of decrease licenses, that can be done on a fairly flexible basis. Whereas the annual ones, you're kind of getting a bit of a price benefit from being within a longer term with Microsoft. Obviously, during a term, you are able to upgrade, so you can move from basic to standard, and again to that kind of Business Premium license to take full advantage of the security capabilities. And there will be, I understand anyway, some kind of further multi-year licenses available kind of very soon. But again, obviously EBS are very much there to have a chat around the models that you're currently on or looking to get with new licensing. Something again with the 365 stack would be enabling remote access. So it's definitely a crucial first step in facilitating this way of working. So obviously working from the offices and working from home. So Microsoft 365 Premium offers several features that can protect against lost or stolen passwords, so multi-factor authentication. It can provide the right people with the right access to work on different particular apps with Azure AD, so ensuring that they're secure and allowed to be used for certain or with certain information, and you can enable secure remote desktop access with Windows Virtual Desktop, again with Business Premium. So the Azure Active Directory service, Azure AD, is a identity and access solution that combines single sign-on capabilities to any cloud and on-premise application with advanced protection. So it gives you a single identity to access the applications you want and collaborate from any platform or any device. Microsoft Online, or Microsoft 365 services, need Azure AD to sign in and ensure that it's the right kind of people using those services going in. Obviously, when you subscribe to any Microsoft 365 business service, you're automatically receiving Azure AD with the kind of free features. There is some, Azure AD Plan 1 comes with Business Premium. There is an additional Plan 2 service. So depending on the monitoring and security you kind of need, there are different levels to ensure that your either getting access to on-prem or cloud kind of services, as well for management purposes. If you're on a P1 compared to a P2 or Plan 1 compared to a Plan 2 license, that can help with EBS locking down or having a centralized place to manage those identities that are logging into services. With passwords as well, passwords we do see, and just kind of overall outside Microsoft as well, can be the weakest point of security and sometimes a single point of failure. So to protect yourself, it's crucial to enable MFA, multi-factor authentication, which can definitely prevent 99% of identity attacks that do come through. And the Microsoft suite offers various authentication options to suit your kind of business and your employees as well. There are different ways to use MFA within Microsoft. So Microsoft Authenticator, the app that can send push notifications just to double check whether people are logging into the correct place, or give notifications, or be able to have different devices be used to log in different ways. Obviously, Microsoft Hello as well is something that's available. So that's an automatic sign-in using face or fingerprint recognition or technology. Sometimes that's not too used, but obviously when if we're using iPhones or things, when we use biometrics on there for face and thumb recognition, again, that can be integrated to maybe a device you already use on those ones as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people using passwordless authentication now. So just a confirmation on the authenticator, or facial recognition, or a kind of biometric side of things. But by adopting MFA, really, you're enhancing the security you have within your organization, and ensuring kind of a smooth or easy access for people to kind of log into the correct places. Again, with those policies, you can prompt users to use MFA at certain times, or you can have, with the Authenticator app as well, you can get a notification out to maybe update passwords at different times, kind of going on, just to ensure that security is all there. Securing access to work apps as well. So that's obviously with the Azure Active Directory service that's available. So you can, for example, in a distributed work environment, it's definitely crucial to ensure that the right people are accessing the right kind of tools with the right access. And Azure AD conditional access can offer that control of kind of where, when, and who can connect to different Office apps. So you can create policies to block access for different kind of countries. So only certain locations can log into places, or certain IPs, or designated people within kind of certain groups as well. So you can, maybe you've got a kind of sales team, they can access certain tools or information. They can be not allowed to access certain information that maybe marketing or a different location can be allowed to access as well. Also, combining this side of things with MFA can definitely double check and just ensure that those securities, those businesses are secure, and the Azure AD capabilities that are included with Business Premium have features like app proxy, enabling remote access to on-prem web apps, and can ensure that that company or your company's network is not exposed. And then obviously dynamic groups help reduce administration, so people can be kind of together and assigned to different groups so that they can have that application access depending on which group they're in. Maybe an SLT team can only access certain apps or certain areas of SharePoint, whereas kind of people in different departments can. Remote desktop access as well is available through 365 and the Business Premium kind of offerings. So Azure Virtual Desktop is a comprehensive service on Azure, Microsoft Azure, that can provide virtual desktop and app virtualization. It simplifies the management and offers and supports RDS environments as well. So it can offer multi-session on Windows 11 if that's kind of what you have, and your employees or yourselves can access remote apps from any device while being maintained from a kind of a centralized place. So obviously EBS can kind of assist with the centralized location for management and security of particular desktops. AVD, Azure Virtual Desktop, possibly small, medium-sized businesses are running remote desktop services, RDS, and can benefit from a simplified license and lower cost with AVD, which again is included on Business Premium. So if you have apps with sensitive information, financial data, company or employee records, and you want to secure those from remote workers, AVD can create a virtual desktop for remote access, and this can ensure that yourselves or employees can only access the information within a particular remote session and cannot access or save data within on a local device that they're kind of logging in from. Again, another feature probably with 365 and Business Premium would be that it can defend against threats and safeguard company data. So with remote working and obviously how people work on a day-to-day basis, there's an increase in cyber attacks like phishing. Microsoft Defender that is included in the 365 stack and Business Premium helps protect users' identities and defends against these particular cyber threats. So Business Premium can offer enterprise-grade services and protection used with lots of large companies to safeguard your business from external threats. It includes features like advanced threat protection safe links, which checks links in real time and warns if they are malicious. ATP safe attachments can scan email attachments, opening and testing them in a secure environment first before having them in kind of a live area, so they can prevent malicious content from being opened. This protection applies to attachments shared obviously over kind of Outlook through email, but also on SharePoint, OneDrive, and also Teams as well. Advanced threat protection anti-phishing is a good AI-powered intelligence tool now that protects against impersonation and spoofing. By analyzing email patterns and relationships with the AI side of things, it can detect whether there's any anomalies that indicate spoofing attempts. It can even kind of decide if someone says kind regards on an email all the time and they maybe change that over to best regards. It does clock things like that really, and can detect whether there's a pattern or a reason to kind of flag up kind of content coming in so that people are secure about the services, or secure that they're clicking the right information or getting the right attachments and not exposing a network. Enforcing the Microsoft Defender malware protection on Windows devices helps prevent users from interacting with ransomware and malicious websites as well. It can also protect important file systems from unauthorized changes made by ransomware. So a good solution, a good tool, definitely to ensure that kind of locking down and correct data or attachments are being kind of taken out. Another thing which we kind of use or we see a lot of people use on a day-to-day basis is definitely the way to protect sensitive business data. So Microsoft offer data loss prevention, so DLP, and this can safeguard a business from accidental leaks. So DLP policies use analysis to identify, protect, identify and protect, sensitive information, even if an employee forgets how to or forgets to apply controls. It can be again pre-configured from a centralized place. So it includes templates to detect specific types of sensitive data like credit card or personal information being shared out, and can stop things before they go out themselves. Microsoft Business Premium, with that kind of premium side of things, employees can easily encrypt emails and documents. So this is something we see quite regularly being used. So if you have a Business Premium kind of license, you can encrypt emails being sent out or the documents being shared, and can impose controls like restricting kind of printing or forwarding or editing if people or groups you don't want them to be able to manage or change anything within a particular email or document. This can ensure secure communication with customers or kind of people within your own internal kind of side of things or external parties, allowing obviously the intended recipient to access information or be able to see that particular information in one. Azure Information Protection provides an option to classify and protect important information. You can apply controls on editing, printing and viewing, and obviously these controls apply to documents no matter where they're stored. So if someone emailed a document over, obviously when just clicking that initial attachment, you may be asked for a key because it's encrypted, but then if it's saved on a SharePoint after, that encryption will stay with that document for kind of however long it needs to be accessed or is in a certain place. So you can also track whether people are kind of trying to log in or trying to access certain information without an encryption key. And also if an employee does change department or leave an organization, they can have kind of keys or the encryption side of things revoked to ensure that everyone's kind of safe and people leaving don't get access to different things. But with the encryption and the label sensitivity that's available with Business Premium, it's very easy to use. So if you're just sending an email out, it's just a couple clicks. There's an option on the kind of top tab bar that you can add encryption, but protecting that sensitive data is ideal, and only the recipient can kind of decipher the message for reading. So if you have a Business Premium license, you can encrypt and you can send it to anyone, but maybe they don't have a Business Premium license where they are able to encrypt themselves, but as the recipient, they can still be ensured that they're secure. And if you're the sender, you can be safe to know that the right people are looking at kind of different attachments or emails as well. Obviously, kind of now, in modern times, obviously there's a lot of bring your own devices. People are using their own phones for kind of working, and sometimes IT departments or organizations can lack the awareness for everything being used on a personal device rather than a kind of a work device. So there's a certain solution, Cloud Apps Discovery, that can kind of identify and ensure that people are using the apps correctly. It can check and discover on a personal device whether there's applications that are kind of looking into personal data or looking into work data, sorry. It can count if there's kind of odd user traffic count, if the traffic volume kind of jumps up or there's high web requests. Obviously alerts can be made to a centralized place. Obviously EBS can be notified or yourself if a specific user's kind of device is being a bit odd with how they're using the kind of data as well. But it's a good tool to see how people's devices are being used, and you can kind of bring them in rather than have everyone use separate work devices out. Another, again, 365, another a good feature is securing and managing devices. So with the Intune side of things, it's available through Business Premium. This can be a great way to approach device management. So there's a couple of things that are available with Intune. So mobile device management, MDM. So this is normally for a company-owned device. So that'd be a kind of a laptop or a phone designated by the particular organization. So it's the whole device itself, and you can enroll devices for management. And these can use certificates with Intune just to ensure they're correct. It can communicate with Intune, report and measure whether the device is going to be used correctly, and it has the ability to configure policies on a device or roll out updates that need to be made. If you were kind of having pins or passwords, they can be added in or promoted through Intune, or they can be wiped or locked through Intune as well. So if a employee leaves, again, you can obviously take that data away from a particular device. If a device has been lost, you can remove data from a centralized place. And again, as well, it has device encryption. So policies can be made for particular devices. And then also probably within a device, you've got mobile application management. So this is more for an application itself. So could be on a device, but it could be on a personal device. Maybe they only have, maybe you've got Teams, the application on a personal device, and you only want to lock down or have policies for that particular app rather than everything else on that device as well, like WhatsApp. It doesn't touch any of those things. So users can use their personal devices to access the organization's or your organization's resources, and it can the kind of service can ensure that everything's secure from one place, and things can't be maybe saved on a personal kind of device. There are some examples of this. So mobile app management, an organization's using Word on a personal device, so it could be that they lock down the corporate and personal data. They can be kept separate, or an email attachment within a personal kind of application can not be allowed to be downloaded on a local or a particular device. You may be able to kind of paste or see a service, but not be able to edit. Yeah, there's lots of things that are obviously available with the MDM and MAM kind of side of things, and that can help out with Cyber Essentials as well. So if you were looking to gain that Cyber Essentials certificate or kind of be ticked off for that certification, having device management and is kind of a key sort of thing. So having that Intune available through Business Premium and 365 Stack is ideal, really. But yeah, thank you very much. I mean, obviously with Microsoft 365, there's lots of different options available for ensuring that you're using and you can run your business on a day-to-day basis, have that productivity, have that collaboration, but also ensure that you're secure as well for ongoing work and use, really. Any questions, anything just kind of run over? Happy to kind of speak.
Jacob, I've been making a note of some questions, so thanks very much for that. That's really beneficial. Lots of information. Hopefully it's been useful to everyone. A few questions perhaps I can answer, or Jacob, you can answer some of these as well. A license that wasn't mentioned on there is Exchange Online. And also, to be fair, tying into that, I only need email. What license do I need? So I guess probably to hit that off straight away, the Exchange Online license is purely an email account only, is probably the best way of answering that. So where we've talked about desktop applications, OneDrive, Teams, etc., with Exchange Online, that is purely an email only. Possibly these days the only probably time I'd recommend that is maybe if you've got people who don't use a PC, so you might have maybe agents on the road and they only use a phone, then perhaps an email account is all that they would need, and that might suit them. I don't know if there's anything you would add to that, Jacob.
Yeah, I'd say that's sort of things. It's a good kind of a basic or an intro license to just having that kind of ability to have a mailbox. It's the online versions of the apps you can use, but the Business Basic would probably include Exchange Online. But what you're getting with Business Basic, only for probably a little bit more, you're getting that collaboration with Teams, you're getting the SharePoint and OneDrive side of things, so you can have the document controllers as well. Exchange Online Plan 1 is included in Business Basic, Business Standard, and Business Premium, but one of the changes is it does have 50 gigs of mailbox. If you wanted a bit of a bigger mailbox, there is an Exchange Online Plan 2, which can go up to 100 gigabytes. So if you had Business Premium as well, for example, you've got 50 gigs there. Maybe you coming up to the mailbox capacity, you can include or add on an Exchange Online Plan 2, so you can increase your mailbox size to 100 gigs. So there's obviously a couple of different options.
I think probably just touching on that point, and again, it's a related question on. So I guess from a recommendation point of view, we would say if you've got a user, then Business Basic would probably really be your entry level, unless you've got some on mobile. As Jacob has said, that gives you. Yes, it gives you web apps, but it's more the fact that it gives you your Teams, it gives you your OneDrive and SharePoint storage as well. There is another question that kind of links onto that as well, which is what's the difference between having a web version and a desktop version? any difference in functionality, ability to save, and things like that. And again, if I start by answering that, saying our recommendation would be if you've got a user who's using a PC, then the recommendation is that they'll want desktop Office apps. Traditionally, you would have bought Microsoft Office, in a DVD or a download. This business standard and business premium include those desktop applications, and that's the way that I would certainly recommend going. You may have users who have had a recent installation of Office applications, so it might be that you've bought Office 2019, in the last couple of years. Therefore, you want to sweat that asset a little bit more so you can keep that install and therefore just have a business basic license. So web versions are not what I'd recommend in the workplace to be using Excel, Word, PowerPoint, etc.
Yeah, and I'd say the same things as well, because obviously with that basic, one of the points is you're not getting Outlook as a desktop version, and some of the web apps themselves, they do have a little bit of, you are getting, with Word, you're getting the ability to be able to write documents and things, but there is limitations to do with just access. You need to be always online, and sometimes just ease of use as well. I mean, I've using PowerPoint, the online version, it can just be a bit clunky in things like that, and yeah, you're kind of saving to an online version as well, so it's definitely good having the desktop sides.
Oh, I like this next question. I pay for my license.
I'm excited.
I pay for my license directly with Microsoft. This is painful. Can I move to EBS? I probably should definitely answer that one, shouldn't I, Jay? The answer is yes. If it's with Microsoft, and I won't go on to the negative side of that, but ultimately, yes, you can bring licenses across to EBS, and we then manage it directly with the likes of Jacob at Inty. A lot of people will want to be able to drop an email, pick up a phone, and get something sorted straight away. And obviously that's what we can offer. And I would probably say that Microsoft can't quite offer that service.
Yeah,
Microsoft don't really want to deal direct either, I think, is the ultimate. That's why the likes of Inty, etc. are in place. So that's certainly no issue to migrate it across.
Yeah, it's a very easy kind of changeover, and people's existing licenses can kind of continue, and existing services can continue with a very easy kind of change. And like I said, it's that support, it's that knowing that EBS are kind of behind, and right on the other end of the phone to be able to assist with deployment, or just that kind of support if anything pops up.
Okay, another one which I think we possibly loosely touched on, but I have a 365 basic license. Can this be upgraded, or do I have to buy a new standard or business premium license? Okay, I'll let you answer that one, Jacob.
Yeah, so available with the new licensing model, NCE, so upgrades can be made at any time. So obviously there's a lot of upgrade paths. So yeah, basic to kind of premium. Yeah, made at any time. It keeps the same maybe contract details you have currently set up. So if you have a kind of a start or an end date with a particular contract, it just proratas and continues from there. So it doesn't start a new license. You won't have to get anything kind of new set up. It's a quick and easy, upgrade button. And within, I mean, for example, with basic to premium, within 10 minutes, you start seeing the available applications on a kind of desktop on your device.
Yeah,
sometimes 15. But yeah,
I think over the years, what I've seen, I think even if you look at something like business basic and then upgrading either to standard or premium, there's been a lot of people say, right, okay, we've started just by email, in theory, so that they've kind of gone down that business basic route. But then as their Office versions have perhaps got older and out of date, then there's just been a natural upgrade process in there. So it's nice and straightforward, and that's easy to manage. Again, I've got another one on. All right, okay, so I don't have a premium license. Can I receive and open encrypted emails? So you can open them if you don't have. So if someone sent you an encrypted email and you don't have business premium, you can still open it if they've sent it in that way. But you have to have a business premium if you want to send, if you want to set that encryption. I think that's correct, is it, Jacob?
Yeah, so it's obviously as the sender, yeah, you need to have the kind of business premium and above licenses to be able to add that encryption on. But as a receiver, yeah, you don't need to have you know, a business premium kind of license to be able to take that information on.
Yeah. Okay. And I think this is the final one. My organisation has a charitable status. Is there special pricing available? The simple answer to that is yes. There's significantly reduced pricing, as we call it, donated license is the correct term. So again, depending on what license you want and require, will depend on what that discount is. You know, some of them are actually, I'm not really meant to use the term free of charge, but they are ultimately. The likes of business standard and business premium do have a cost, but significantly different. We've purposely not talked pricing in this session because depending on what you've got, you know, if you're a non-for-profit, it will be different to if you're a typical commercial business. Also, whether you want to go monthly or annual. Also, if you're in the middle of contract as well, that can sometimes differentiate what the pricing is at the moment. So I think with all things like this, then we can kind of touch base on costings, etc. It is pretty well publicly detailed what pricing is. But yeah, certainly going back to that charitable sites, there's real big discounts on that front.
Yeah.
Typically, as long as you've got a charity number,
you're all good.
Then that's generally the good.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. And the non-profit team at Microsoft are there to help out as well. With
it's probably worth mentioning education as well. There's also discounted license in the education sector as well. There's a few hoops to jump through, but nothing major.
But it's all worthwhile if you do or need those kind of discounts or have the ability to be able to take them on, as well.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Obviously, you know, you may come off the call and you may think of others. What I would do is really encourage you to kind of reach out to us and we can advise appropriately. So yeah, if you want to email us, by all means do so at hello@ebs.tech. That's TECH. We'll stay in here for a couple of minutes longer, but really just to thank everyone for the time. I would also just like to mention an event that EBS have got running at Moore Hall on the 12th of July, where we're bringing a lot of partners and a team of us just to kind of introduce you, talk about infrastructure, security, Sage, etc. So if anyone's interested in that, it'll be fantastic to see you on the 12th of July. Again, if you want any details, just drop us an email at hello@ebs.tech. But apart from that, it's you know, a big thank you, Jacob, for that. I appreciate that, and thanks all from the EBS team and everyone joining. Like I say, we'll hang on for a couple of minutes, but have a great day.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you very much, Simon. Thanks very much for joining. But yeah, like I said, any kind of further details or things kind of run through, happy to help.